Good morning. I want to tell you about a guy that I got to know. His name is Fred from Massachusetts. First about Alex Jones. He's coming back to X. Right. And this was confirmed by Elon Musk. It's happening today, I think. Maybe now. He's coming back. So I always liked Alex Jones. I really respect this guy. He's so persistent and he's been doing this fantastic job for a long time. Fantastic. I also like the fact that he's sort of cocky and loud, you know. And it's symbolic, I believe. You know, this guy is coming back, and you know how they celebrated when they managed to get him kicked out of X, Twitter. See? The liberals and the lefties, this was a big day for them. They got him kicked out. See, they got to silence him. Of course they celebrated this. They could do this to Alex Jones, and they could do it to anybody. So it's symbolic that he's coming back. And I celebrate this. I celebrate the fact that this is very annoying to them. See? Of course, they hate this. Alex Jones is coming back. And I heard that many of them are now threatening to leave X. How can we ever live with this? These liberals and lefties leaving. This is just too much, isn't it? Oh, they are leaving. Oh no. So this is great. Alright, so this guy Fred. So he's a friend of mine on Facebook. I don't know this guy. I don't know how we became friends. I never ask for friendship on Facebook. It's others asking for friendship. But he was listed as a friend of mine. He's from Massachusetts. He's an electric engineer. And he's got kids and grandchildren. No. Retired. He is. So this is the story. I posted something about the climate. About people traveling by airplanes. All of these guys going down to Dubai for this conference. And then he said this. He said, the environment is failing under the stress of too many billions of people. People need to stop having so many babies, especially in Asia and other high-growth areas. The growth is unsustainable, warming up the earth, making CO2, eating the food, he said. And I enjoy this very much. It gives me a chance to get to know how these people think, you see. So I'm excited when people like this contact me. But this first comment, and I suspected that he was sarcastic. So I checked his page to see what he was posting. The first thing I saw was a picture of Joe Biden, the young Joe Biden. Right. And then he didn't like guns. He said this, for instance, gun belt is not part of my nation. He talked about Trump. He said, I was so happy to learn that Trump lost. It was one of the happiest days of my life. All right, so I got it. This guy was not being sarcastic. So then I asked questions to this guy. You know, I pretend that I know very little about these things, and I want him to educate me. This is how I do it. So I asked these sort of stupid questions, right? So I asked him about the sun. Is the heat from the sun constant? That was the question I asked. And then he said this. Right. Now it's getting pretty strange, actually. So this is what he said. There are many variables, he said. So he didn't answer the question about the sun. He said there are many variables We need to understand them perfectly before allowing the population to double. I, for one, feel horrible when it's hot. Double the cars, trucks, and farm machinery and animals, and we may suffocate ourselves or die from dehydration. Did you ever see that Star Trek episode where every square foot of a planet had someone living on it? It was scary. And then, and then it said this: anyone who has ever raised a tank full of guppies knows what overpopulation does. Yeah? Fortunately, guppies are smart enough to prune their own. So he was very much into this. And so I asked him about what would be your solution to overpopulation, right? And then he said this. I have an EV myself. That was the answer to that question first. The first thing he said, I have an EV myself to try to balance heat and carbon dioxide. I don't know how much of the heat is caused by CO2, but keeping both in check won't hurt. It's better than doing nothing. And then he came back to these babies that were born, so too many babies, right? And he said, there must eventually be force of some type used if people aren't law-abiding. Okay, so I asked him about this. Force, right? So I asked him, so what do you think, sterilization or forced abortions, maybe? This guy was pro-abortion too. I saw it on his page. Forced abortions, or are you suggesting financial punishment for those who want babies? And then there was no more from this guy. He didn't reply after this. See? It's mind-boggling, I think. But of course, this is how he thinks. You know, voting for Joe Biden, hating Trump. You know, amazing, I think. Yesterday we had visitors here, 3 purebloods, fantastic people, brilliant people. And we talked for a long time, we had a good time. And one of the things we talked about was the importance of meeting other people in person. You know? And I feel this in my gut, that this is very important. I can't exactly say why it's important, but I'm thinking about the future. No? When they are just increasing the pressure, using more and more force, we need to know each other well. No? When this comes. So I wanted to relay this to you. We talked about this. Oh, I recommend this. It's good too. It's good fun, isn't it? Talking to people, having some food, you know, having good conversations. It's great, isn't it? All right. Be good.